In our lesson today, we will discuss the comprehension skill of making inferences, which is understanding hidden meanings in a text. Let's start. In comprehension text or stories, authors don't always give the readers every detail or piece of information. They leave things for readers to infer. By the way, authors do this in both fiction and nonfiction stories. Fiction is a type of writing that tells a story made up from the writer's imagination. It's not based on real events, even though it might feel real. Easy explanation. Fiction stories are not true, but they can be fun, exciting, or even emotional. Writers create characters, settings, and plots to entertain or share ideas. You'll find fiction in novels, short stories, fairy tales, and even movies. Examples of fiction: fairy tale, fantasy, adventure story, science fiction, or mystery. On the other hand, nonfiction is writing that tells about real people, places, and events. It's based on facts, not imagination. Easy explanation. Nonfiction is true and informative. It helps us learn about the world around us. Writers use nonfiction to teach, explain, or share real stories. Examples of nonfiction: biography, science textbook, news article, travel guide, and how-to book. In making inferences, readers must do the following. First, when we read, we picture the story in our heads. We find the clues in the story, and we try to figure out what is going on, even if the author does not say it. This is how to make inferences. Making inferences means using clues from what you read or see, plus what you already know, to figure something out that isn't directly said. Easy explanation. It's like being a detective. You look for hints and use your brain to guess what's really going on. Authors don't always tell you everything, so you have to read between the lines. You combine evidence, what's in the text, with your own knowledge to understand more. Making inferences is like being a detective in a story. You gather clues, use your brain, and figure out what's really going on, even if it's not said directly. Here's a simple guide: how to make inferences. Step by step. Read carefully, pay close attention to what the text says. Look for details, actions, and emotions. Look for clues. Find hints in the words, pictures, or actions. These are your evidence. Use what you know. Think about your own experiences or knowledge. What do you already know that connects to the clues? Put it together, combine the clues with your knowledge to make a smart guess about what's really happening. Check your thinking. Ask yourself, does my guess make sense with the clues I found? To sum up, when you make an inference, you take what the author has told you and add what you already know. When you make an inference, you are working out something that is not completely explained in the text. To make an inference, we use what we see or read in the text, plus what we already know, our background knowledge. You might explain your thinking using words like, I think, I predict, my guess is, or maybe. Remember that making inferences is a great way to understand and enjoy what we are reading. To infer, great readers must do the following. Use text or word clues. Use picture clues. Look for words that show feelings. Use what they already know. And finally, ask questions. Let's do some practice on how to make inferences. The clue that the author mentioned in the text is, the weather has been freezing cold for weeks. What we already know is, winter is the coldest time of the year. By combining the author's clue and our knowledge, we can infer that it is winter in the story. Another example to make inferences. The clue that the author mentioned in the text is, the puppy was wagging its tail and running around Ahmed in circles. What we already know is, dogs wag their tail when they are happy or excited. By combining the author's clue and our knowledge, we can infer that the dog is happy to see Ahmad. Another example to make inferences. What am I doing? The text is, the bat whacks the ball loudly. The ball flies into the air and into the stands. I hear fans cheering. Where am I? Based on the text and our knowledge, we can infer that the author is at a baseball game. Another example to make inferences. What am I doing? The text is, I sat with my mouth wide open in a big chair. I am always nervous about coming in for a checkup. The doctor said I did a great job and gave me some floss on the way out. Where am I? Based on the text and our knowledge, we can infer that the author is at the dentist. Another example to make inferences. What am I doing? The text is, at 12 p.m., we lined up. We walked down the hallway. Some kids went to a table. I got a tray and stood in line. I asked for cheese pizza. My friend asked for a sandwich. Where am I? Based on the text and our knowledge, we can infer that the author is at the cafeteria for lunch.